I like to play this game called Is Liz a Sorority Girl, Person from the 80s, or a 6-year-old? Let's get started. Hi friends, it's Liz, and today I'm coming at you with a video all about my formal sorority rush recruitment experiences. I have a lot of people ask me about this and to talk about it, and I think it's a great idea. So I'm got my little notes right here. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm reading. But I'm really excited to talk about this issue. It's something I'm really excited and happy about. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do first is talk about what each day is. I go to a very small school. We only have 4 sororities as opposed to some of the southern ones that have like in the 20s. We only have 4. So you start by going to an orientation on the Sunday before rush week. Our rush week is after school starts. It's not before school starts like a lot of schools are. Ours is after, a few weeks after, I think. And so you go to an orientation the Sunday night before. They just kind of talk about, safety things, what you should expect. They give you your name tag and a bunch of goodies, like we got a water bottle and some sunglasses and things like that. They just kind of walk you through what to expect, and you meet all of the Pi Chis. Pi Chis are sorority girls who are not associated to their sorority for this week, and their job is to help you through, answer any questions for you, and they are completely unbiased. They're not trying to push you towards the one that they're in. They're trying to find the one that's going to work best for you. So you get broken up into your Pi Chi groups. I was in group 1, and that's kind of the group that you start going through each house with. So day 1, it's known as water rounds because they give all the different houses give you some fancy water, and it's super casual. I wore these denim shorts actually. These right here. So I had marching band rehearsal right before the first day, and so I was in shorts and like a t-shirt, or maybe it was a tank top. It was a tank top. I had a tank top, a spaghetti strap tank top that had a long sleeve green over it, and just some Converse. So first round, very casual. You spend half an hour at each house. So you'll line up in front of the houses, and the girls will come out and get you. Sometimes you're just by yourself. Sometimes you're with 1, maybe 2 other people with the same group that's in the sorority you're visiting. So the first sorority I visited, I was with another girl. And the girl in the sorority we were visiting first was talking to both of us at the same time, which was kind of nice because we could kind of talk to each other and get to know each other super well, as we were also talking about ourselves and feeling out that specific house. The main thing in round 1 is to just be yourself. It's super casual. It's a lot of what's your major, where are you from, what do you like to do in your free time. It's not super deep conversations. You're just kind of testing the waters at each one. Super casual, super great, very comfortable. It is a lot of talking. That's one big thing that I think is super important to know when going through recruitment, is you're gonna be talking about yourself a lot. If that's something you're not usually used to, maybe think of a few fun facts before you go into rush week, and just kind of have some things to talk about. What kind of volunteer experience you had in high school, what jobs you had in high school, what you did extracurricularly, things like that. At the end of round 1, you will go back and pick your top 3 favorites. You don't necessarily have to put them in order for this one, it's just your top 3. So you go back and you pick your top 3. Ours was in our university center. It was just super quick. They'd call you in. There had a bunch of people in like the tech room of the university center, and you'd go in and tell them your top 3, and you were good to go for the night. So that was Monday. At my school specifically, I go to a pretty small school. So round 1 is Monday. Round 2 is Tuesday or Wednesday. You can go to which one fits your schedule best. So for me, I went on Tuesday because I had marching band rehearsals that conflicted with Wednesday. So I went on Tuesday for round 2. Round 2, you could get asked to 1, 2, 3, or none of the houses you picked. If you unfortunately don't get picked back for any of them, then you're done for the week. That is super rare. It does not happen very often, especially just round 2. But I do know girls who would go with 3 choices and only get asked back to 1. It is a mutual selection process, so you have to pick the sorority and they also have to pick you. Not because it's not about superficial things like what you look like, anything like that. They just believe that if they don't feel like you're going to be a good fit in their house, they're not going to choose you. They don't want you to be stuck in somewhere you're not going to like or enjoy or have a good experience in. This round specifically is known as house tours and philanthropy night. So this is the night where all of the different houses get to talk about their philanthropy and the services that they do and the events that they have throughout the year that benefit that philanthropy. Also for this night, I wore some denim, some nice denim skinny jeans and like a flowy blouse. It's slightly fancier the longer you go through the week. So maybe shorts and a t-shirt or a tank top, nice ones, not ripped or anything like that the first day, and the slightly fancier than that the second round. So at the end of round 2, you'll go back and you'll choose your top 2. Doesn't matter what order necessarily, you just pick your top 2 that you like, and then you'll move on to the next round. So at my school, round 3 is known as preference night. It is the fanciest of all of them. This is the night where the sororities really see you in their house and their sisterhood, and they're trying to show you what life is like in that house. So for my school, this was Thursday night. So you picked your top 2 the night before, and you could get asked back to both, one, or none of them. If you do get asked back to none of them, then you don't get to continue. That's kind of just your sign that maybe none of the sororities thought you were ready to join, or you were joining for the wrong reasons, or things like that. Like I said before, it's very, very rare to not be asked back to none of them, but it does happen every once in a while. Just take a deep breath, maybe reevaluate why you're joining, think about if it's something you really, really want to do, and then you can always go through spring recruitment or go back through the next year. So preference night for me, I got asked back to my top 2, which was amazing. I was very, very excited. This is a very, very formal night. They have fancy desserts, and one of the houses I visited had like cheesecake and sparkling apple cider and things like that. This is the night I wore a dress. I'll try to find a picture. If not, it was kind of just like this blue sweetheart neckline floral dress, and it was raining my pref night, which was very fun, and so had an umbrella and like flats, and it was very nice and a lot of walking, but I made it through. So after preference night, you can go back to your top 2 or just one. You'll come back and you'll make your top 2 choices in order. This is the important part. You pick your top choice and your second choice, and the order does matter this time. So there is something what's known as suicide bidding, which is when you just put one house. That is when you know that they're going to ask you back, and you know that that's where you want to be, and you just know that that is the sorority that you want to spend your 4 years in. We recommend not doing that, just in case that sorority found something that wasn't quite right, didn't think you were going to fit in just yet, but maybe the next year or something like that. So it's strongly encouraged for you to pick your top 2. It's totally up to you. If you think that suicide bidding is right for you, just know that if you only put one house and they don't ask for you, you're unfortunately done in the recruitment process and you don't get a bid the next day. So unfortunately for me, I did not get to go to my bid day. I had marching band rehearsal and we had a game the next Saturday. So I wasn't able to skip the rehearsal. That was right before the game. But I asked around, got a little bit of information from my school specifically. So what happens at my school is you get a text the day of bid day saying that you got a bid. I'm sure if you didn't get a bid, they would also tell you that, so you wouldn't show up and not have one. I'm just assuming. And so you go and dress in something you can change out of pretty easily, because you will be getting a shirt for your specific sorority that chose you and that you will be in. And so at my school, it was raining that night, and so they had to move it from outdoors to indoors. But you get your envelope and everyone opens them, and it's a big celebration, and you run home and you get to have a big party at your house for the first time and get to know more of the sisters, and we played some getting to know you games. We had an ice cream truck at ours, which was really, really fun to have. So it's just a big celebration, and it's kind of the night where you realize that you're now a part of something that's way bigger than yourself, and it's very, very exciting and thrilling and very enlightening, and it's just awesome. So make sure to enjoy yourself. Okay, so this is the portion of this video where I'm going to give you some tips for recruitment. Take them with a grain of salt, do whatever's going to work for you. These are just my tips from my experience that I had. So like I said, my rush week is very, very casual. It's not anything crazy. We don't have to bring letters of recommendation or anything like that. I go to a pretty small school. Like I said, we only have 4 sororities. So my big thing is to just be yourself. Don't go into it knowing which one you want. Don't go into it knowing which ones you don't want. I went in thinking that I knew which one was going to be right for me, and the one I'm in now, I actually dropped the first night. But they knew, they saw something in me, and they knew that I was going to be a part of their sisterhood, and lo and behold, I am. So you never know what's going to happen throughout the week. Just be yourself. Know that your mind could change at any minute. Don't talk to your friends who are maybe going through recruitment. I did have a friend who went with me. Shout out to you, Haley. But like, share your thoughts with someone, but don't change the next day thinking that your friend is going to end up in one. Do what works for you, know who you are, and go in with an open mind, because you never know what's going to change. So at my school, we were not allowed to bring our bags or phones into the houses with us during any of the rounds. They had a few pai kais who would stay outside and guard your stuff for you. But something I would recommend is open your notes app in between each house and write down what you liked or didn't like. That was something that was really, really helpful for me personally, because, you know, you're talking a lot of the houses are asking you the same questions. But I remember one house, I had a great conversation about Disney with one of the girls, and Disney's my life, and we found out that we were in a similar class together and things like that. So write down names if you remember them, what you like and didn't like in your phone, so that you can keep track of which house is which. Another tip is that if you've seen recruitment videos for larger southern schools, a lot of them wear heels every night, and that is just literally crazy. I wore Converse and flats every single night of recruitment, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world. If you do want to wear heels, that's fine. Just make sure you have a backup pair, because there is a lot of walking. You're walking from each house to house, and you're walking back to campus, and it's just, some of the houses don't have you sit down during some of the rounds. It's completely different every single day. So just be prepared and be comfortable. So something that came up a few times in my experience was, what do I talk about? And there are things to not mention. If you're joining a sorority just for the parties and the boys and the drinking and things like that, that's maybe not a good reason to go through recruitment. I personally went through recruitment because I wanted something to do on campus that wasn't band related. I've always been a band kid. I was in high school. That's all I did in high school. I just did band and band and band and band. Very musical. And my freshman year in college, I loved the marching band. I fell in love with it. I was in concert band. I did athletic band and pep band, and got to travel with pep band and had the time of my life. But in groups like that, you find yourself only talking to your section, or only talking to other music majors or things like that. So the reason I went through recruitment was to kind of branch out, meet some new people, meet some friends that I didn't go to high school with. Bless my best friend Rosie, I love her to death, but she is a music major, I am not. Music majors do a lot of work. So there was a lot of times my freshman year of college where I found myself only hanging out with other band kids or kids and friends that I had from high school. I went through recruitment in order to branch out from that. I wanted to meet some new people that weren't them. I needed some more female influences in my life, things like that. And I told people that. They ask you why you went Greek or why you went through Rush, and my explanation and my answer was, because I need something new. I need something to be involved in that's not band related maybe, that'll get me to meet some new people and make some new friends. So if you're going through recruitment just for the parties, just for the superficial social reasons, that's maybe kind of a wake-up call to think about why you're doing this. Sororities are a lot of work. It's not all how it's portrayed in movies. My sorority, we have to keep a certain GPA. We have to do a certain number of service hours every semester. It's going to be a lot of work, but you're going to get out what you put in. That is a huge thing when it comes to sororities, is you're going to get as much out of it as you're willing to put the work in for. So that's pretty much it for my sorority recruitment video. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for everyone who asked me to do this. It's something I really, really wanted to try out, and go for, and it's something I'm super passionate about and talking about. So if you have any other questions about sorority recruitment, or if you have any other ideas for something you want me to talk about, please let me know on either here or message me on Instagram or send me a text or anything like that. I'd love to hear your input and things that you want me to make. So thank you so much for stopping by. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe down below if you're feeling like it. Trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the summer. It's kind of a crazy goal. So thank you so much again for stopping by. I'll see you later.